This is what happens when Japanese people love their mecha too much. They put mecha a bit everywhere, even in Edo Palace. I'm Araknie and honestly think it's time to present you with M.U.S.H.A, also known as M.U.S.H.A Aleste originally. Yep, we got another Aleste game where they wanted to hide what it was. Why? Because video game translators didn't wanna work on this series, apparently. It must be like this, I'm convinced. The plot of this game is basically what we've seen many times. A supercomputer goes mad and thinks microchips are so cool that they go anywhere, even in your brain. Reminds me of a goober. Must be my imagination. Since I'm all natural, I gotta have a word with them. Gameplay wise, I gotta say I love 2/3 of it. And that's for a single reason. This is much simpler in level design compared to Super Aleste, and it compensates by having the first 4 levels out of 7 to be not incredibly hard. It's just a bunch of fun patterns with not too many enemies, and therefore not too many bullets, so you can manage to never die in the first part of the game if you played enough representatives of the genre. I did in level 3 and 4 all in a row once I got a hang of the controls. But then the 5th stage became a super spam of bullets everywhere. After that it became easier again, and the last one was a massive spike compared to what came before. Very inconsistent, I don't like that. Especially since all the bosses from start to finish are very easy compared to the boards. I prefer the opposite. The only exception being the first phase of the final one. Yeah, not even the final version, the previous one instead. Wildly unbalanced. And it's a pity because I was having loads of fun. But the upgrade system is magnitudes inferior compared to Super Aleste, with you going to be absolutely stuck, with you basically only shooting forward. There's plenty of other things to experiment with, but it will not be possible after stage 4, because it works completely differently. There's no system where you always get to retain your power even if you die, as long as you die with one. To not talk about the lack of a friendly life system that rewards bonus lives. This basically works like Gradius, punishing for punishing's sake. A pity because it's only 2 levels, but they are placed so you replay this so many times that when you'll finally manage to finish, the result is gonna be devastating for your hands. What do incredibly hard stages do to a shoot 'em up? But the presentation is worth praising. Honestly, the graphics. What have they done in 1990 with them? This is incredible. Lots of Japan, lots of robots and plenty of time to fall in love. What good sprite work does to a hard game. It doesn't do anything too incredible like the other Aleste, but we get an amazing amount of detail in every single sprite that I can only comment about their quality. Lights and movement, trying to always draw your attention. And unfortunately, even here we get a glaring mistake. We get a lot of times so busy on screen, yes, always after level 4, that we can't see enemy bullets anymore. It's a problem that is gonna become so big that even enemies are gonna bump into you and make you explode in a million pieces. You can tell it's too much since the more you go into it, the more you get slowdowns. I got a couple that lasted over 10 seconds. That's too much. I usually don't talk about them because they are really brief. In 10 seconds I can drink a glass of water. That's too much for me to ignore. Musically, it's another fantastic display of the Mega Drive ability to do speed metal really well. What possibly could you want more? All the good music of metal without any of the shit lyrics. I say that is a match made in heaven. But yeah, it's an immaculate soundtrack, no notes. Just enjoy it while playing, listen to it on your time, put it in the car while driving, and then cause a 100 car wreck. Because why not? In the end, I wanna say that I'm undecided. This is why I'm gonna give M.U.S.H.A only a 7.5 out of 10 and stop right there. I think the game these days is considered a masterpiece only because it looks and sounds amazing. But honestly, a game where you die because you can't see where you're going can never be great. If you wanna see me play the games that I will review plus some extra stuff, catch me on Twitch at Araknie Retro. It's my natural habitat, you see. Until next time, ciao ciao!